Hey yo, what's poppin', low gang? I just got finished with my morning routine, got a little pump in at the Mavic House gym, drank my protein shake, went over to the cemetery and urinated on an old man's grave. Oh! First off, you know what it is. No merch, baby! We got the Mavic glasses in. Please, I need this. YouTube cut my AdSense ever since I pranked that orphanage with mustard gas. Now look, Logan Paul Army, I know you're the strongest family on YouTube. So I know that you know that I am not a I don't take shit. So after I got demonetized by some dead Japanese guy, I went back to that forest and I kicked his ass! But that dead guy put up a good fight and broke both my arms. Respect. But now I can't dab on the haters anymore. If only there was some way to make someone involuntarily dab. My arms are supposed to be broken. You know what? This is a dumb bit anyway. Have you ever wanted to make someone dab against their will? Well, what if I told you you're not the only one? Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm a diagnosed psychopath. Well, let me introduce you to my good friend, the TENS unit, alright? You've probably already seen them online as a means to cause pain via electrical shock. Well, let me tell you, there are a lot of ways to cause pain via electrical shock. And you don't need a TENS unit for that. What I'm interested in is the TENS unit's ability to contract muscles involuntarily. So TENS stands for transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, which is a fancy way of saying shoots electricity across very specific parts of your body. Let me give you a little demonstration. I'm hooked into the TENS unit right now. I got a couple of electrodes attached to me here and here. So electricity is gonna flow in between these two TENS units, and it's gonna contract the muscle group in between the two. So if I turn it up kind of high, you can see that my arm starts to move. Now this isn't me moving my arm. This is this muscle group involuntarily contracting because of high frequency electricity passing through it. And the reason it's doing this weird pattern is because it's got like a pre-programmed mode. So it's just a pattern built into the TENS unit, but we can change that. So there are two obvious problems with building this thing. The first is human reaction time. If I don't contract the muscle groups fast enough, then whoever I do it to can sort of resist it if I react fast enough. So we gotta do that really fast. And the second problem is I could just be an asshole and am pretending to move my arm. I could give you a bunch of ways to validate that I'm actually being shocked, like zooming in on the muscle groups and seeing that they're actually contracting, or giving you specific timings with the sounds, but I'm gonna fix that by just shocking some of my friends. It's a lot more fun that way. But Michael, I hear you ask, that's great and all, but the movements, they seem kind of erratic. How are you gonna control the electrical pulses precisely enough to make someone dab? And the answer to that dumbass question is this shitty little box full of electronics. And I will explain what those electronics do right now. And it doesn't have a name. We can call it the nut box. We can call it the nut box. I am running out of names for these things. But wait a minute, the nut box isn't just a boring 3D printed box. It's a boring 3D printed box with electronics inside. So the electronics of this thing are actually really simple. It's got two main components. We have a Raspberry Pi and a relay board on this little piece of plastic I printed out that fits nicely inside of the nut box. So the Raspberry Pi is running a web server, which is listening for commands, and then it's going to parse those commands and carry out duration control for the electrodes, timings, and everything with the relays. And power is just supplied via this USB cable right here, which fits really nicely with a lipstick style power bank, so this entire thing is wireless and portable, which is great for zapping people. Now if we pop the lid back on, I can show you how the nut box interacts with the TENS unit and the electrodes. So I made these little breaks in the electrode wires. Now these plug into any of the 4 channels, and when the Raspberry Pi receives the command to open up a channel and contract a muscle group, then the connection will be made between these wires, allowing electricity to flow between the 2 electrodes and contract muscles. Here's how it works. All right, lightning round explanation time. All right, I wrote this software to generate information about shock timing and duration. Here is the code for it. I hope you're good at pausing the video if you care about that shit. All right, software's open. Let me hit you with an example. I want to contract my bicep, then fingers sequentially. All right, bicep first. I'm going to start at 1 millisecond on the timeline, so it's going to go off right when it gets the command sent. And for duration of the shock, you know what? Let's max it out. That sounds like a fun time. So now I'm going to hit add, and it's going to temporarily save that shock, that contraction, whatever you want to call it. Now let's do the fingers, and we can move that to like 4 seconds in. So I can just add that. You know what? Give that a 5-second duration too. Now we're only using 2 channels, but I'm gonna add a couple more because that's how many it's expecting to receive. So I'm gonna save that. So here's the file that software generated, and it's just a simple JSON file. This is gonna be sent from an app I wrote on my phone to the nutbox. All right, time to put on the electrodes. All right, so I got my app running on a phone emulator just so you can see everything for the test. It'll be on my actual smartphone for the dab. What am I even saying right now? So this is what everything looks like right now. It's not too bad. Don't worry, it gets a lot worse when you use all 4 channels. All right, so everything's set up. As you can see on the app, we have the bicep and fingers move selected that we made earlier. So let's just, let's test it out. So I'm gonna click it, start it. So now let's turn up a little high. I turned it down so now you can actually see what's going on. So let's do it again. Okay, so that was bicep. Remember we did bicep first. And then, okay, so now it's bicep and fingers. And now it's just fingers, so not moving my fingers at all. All right, I want to get a close-up of it working on the arm because I want you to see how it looks when the tens unit high-frequency electricity is running through the muscles. It's disgusting. All right, I'm going to click the app button with my mouse. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. So you can see the muscles like actually almost vibrating. It's really disgusting. Now let's invite someone who's not me to experience this pain. Okay, I told my friend Jeremy to come over, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for him to get here. Also, he has no idea that we're doing this whatsoever. I fucking got it. There he is. What's poppin', Low Gang? How's it going? This is my brown friend, Jeremy Amano. Did I say brown? I meant to say Philippine. Good. My good friend, Jeremy Amano. So what's your name? And how old are you? Is this your first time? Fuck you. Do you know what you're gonna be doing today? No. So Jeremy's here to make sure that when I get shocked, I'm not faking it. And I am here. Whoa, that was bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna fire this. So Jeremy's here to make sure that when I get shocked and dab, I'm not faking it, and I'm here to make sure he's not faking it. You might be thinking, Michael, you probably have to put the electrodes on really specific parts of your body, and you would be correct. Now, you know that I didn't go to school for anatomy. I didn't go to school for anything, actually. No, instead, I spent like 5 hours alone in my room, shocking different parts of my body, trying to figure out... I spent like 5 hours sitting alone in my room trying to figure out what different muscles make you dab. That's how committed I am to making fun of Logan Paul. I don't know where I was going with this. And I wrote down how to do it in this notebook over here. Now, if you want to come look at it, I drew pictures instead of muscle names, not because I thought it would look cool, but because I have no idea what these muscles are called, because I didn't go to school for it, so you know. So yeah, this is exactly where we need to put the electrodes in order to make someone dab. How about we do that right now to you, Jeremy, cameraman Jeremy? And how old are you? Okay, so we gotta put the dab boy on as a belt. Okay, so you got the belt on. The belt is just some wire I had lying around because we're both Filipino, so.
No more money. I mean, we don't have money.
Say it like a fucking white person so I don't get demonetized, Jeremy. That's fine, that's good. I'll put the pads on you. Okay, you ever realize that like you completely made a mistake with an idea, but you've invested so much time that you just like, you have to do it? Guess what this moment is right now. All right, all the channels plugged in. It's pretty condensed, really portable, can take it anywhere. How are you feeling, Jeremy? Pretty good, let's do this. All right, we're all attached. I got the phone app pulled up right here, all ready to go. How do you feel about this, Jeremy?
It's on right now.
It's okay, it's some residual electricity.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit, I hit the fucking button.
I am Jesus.
Why did your arms do that?
I am Jesus.
This is like completely impromptu. I'm gonna press the button. Wait, press the button. Then it's gonna... You shouldn't be doing Jesus pose. Alright, take 2. The electrodes were in the wrong place. Okay?
Oh,
so, 3, 2, 1. Dab on the haters, Jeremy.
Oh no! No!
I'm recording for a second.
Do it again if you have to.
Okay, we'll do it one more time just to verify. I didn't think it worked that way. Okay, limp muscles. I just want to make your limp muscles. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Clicking the thing.
Oh! Okay, okay. It worked. Wow. It worked.
How did that feel? Okay, it works? Yeah, that worked a lot better than I thought it would.
Can I get my revenge?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Alright. Okay, so I just want to show you guys before I get shocked how it looks, how nice and portable and stylish the Nut Boy looks on you. So here, we were wearing it as a fanny pack. It was supposed to be worn on the back, but then I saw Rich Brian wearing fanny packs, so yeah, I gotta do it like that. 10's unit fits snugly in the pocket, feeds into the nut box. Nut box controls it via the app. I have electrodes all over my body. In places that you don't want to see, plenty of stuff. It's really fun. So yeah, let's shock me. Okay, so there is some residual. Maybe one of these things shorted or something. But the app definitely makes it worse, right, Jeremy? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay, so everything's on. The 10's unit's on. You get the app. All right. Yeah. So I'm totally limp. Go ahead, Jeremy. Did you press it?
Yeah. Oh, survived. Oh, error sending request. Check the fucking connection.
Hey. Ah!
You good?
Did you press it again?
I pressed it.
Oh, fuck! Jesus! Why did I make it? How many times did you press that fucking button, Jeremy?
You deserve it.
The residual really does hurt. Okay, press it one more time and I'll like actively really try to resist it. Kinda wanna. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's. Oh, yeah. I can get. Oh, what the fuck was that? How many times are you pressing the button? Okay, alright. Okay. That was a fun video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, hey. I didn't see it there. I was just polishing up my brand new Ding Ding poster. I made it myself. Took the picture, did the color correction, everything. And if you want to get your very own Ding Ding poster, go fuck yourself. It's mine. This one's mine. You can't have it. It's not for sale. Yet. Well, either way, you can't have it. And if you want to continue not having it, you can go and mosey on over to www.gofuckyourselfitsnotforsale.com. I bought that domain. I made an entire website about how you can't have this fucking poster. Eat my ass. But you know what you can have? G-E... knowledge. It's knowledge. Now, I actually didn't learn how to program computers from college. I don't have a college degree yet. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with learning about computer programming at college. But I learned how to code. I learned all about technology online. Not spelling. That was the American public school system. Thanks. And an awesome place that you can learn online is today's sponsor, Brilliant.org. Their content makes sure that you understand the basics, like algorithms, but it still allows you to build up to more advanced topics like machine learning or computer memory. Their intuitive-ass courses actually teach you to problem solve, which means you can tackle real-world problems that maybe you haven't seen before, instead of just taking in data and regurgitating it and hoping that works. Now, Brilliant is free, but it also has a great premium option that lets you unlock more features. Remember to use offer code THIS to save this much %, and this is available for this many people. Guess who hasn't given me the information yet? People ask me, Michael, why do you keep getting sponsored by Brilliant? Why don't you take some other sponsorship? Well, surprisingly enough, other sponsors have offered deals with me, and I haven't taken them. That's because I'm only ever gonna do sponsorships on this channel that I personally would use, that I personally believe in. And one of those is Brilliant.org. Alright, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you can't have this, not even in a million years, not in your wildest dreams. Yeah, going like nigga, move out the way, please don't